I need to tell you something about my past, something I've buried so deep I almost convinced myself it never happened. There's a version of me you've never met, the one who used to cry behind closed doors while pretending to be fine. My past isn't something I'm proud of, but it's the only reason I know how to love you this deeply now. I've made mistakes that haunt me at night, not because of what I did, but because of who I became to survive them. I used to trust people too easily, and every betrayal carved pieces out of me I can never get back. There's a chapter in my past I swore I'd never reopen, but somehow your love makes me want to tell the truth. No one knows how much I've been broken because I learned to smile while bleeding inside. I need you to understand something. I didn't become distant out of choice. I became distant out of pain. My past wasn't gentle. It taught me that silence is safer than honesty. But with you, I want to speak. I've been someone's secret, someone's mistake, and someone's ghost. That's why I'm afraid of being loved too loudly. There was a time I begged to be seen, and all I got was people staring at my scars instead. I once loved someone so deeply that losing them felt like dying without being buried. My past is filled with people who promised forever but disappeared before sunrise. I never told anyone how I spent years pretending I was okay just to make others comfortable. I used to believe love meant fixing broken people until I realized I was the one bleeding. I've kept quiet about my past because the moment I start explaining, I start reliving it. There's a part of me that still flinches when someone raises their voice, even if it's out of love. My past is not dark because of what happened, but because of what it took away from me, my innocence. I've been told I'm too guarded, but if you saw what I've survived, you'd understand the walls. I used to write letters I never sent, apologies, confessions, goodbyes. They still sit in a box I can't open. I never expected to be understood. So when you looked at me like you saw through everything, I panicked. My past taught me to hide every emotion behind humor because crying made people uncomfortable. There was a time I trusted the wrong hands, and they molded my kindness into something unrecognizable. I've forgiven people who never apologized, and I've carried guilt for things that weren't even my fault. Sometimes I dream of the person I used to be, and I wake up mourning them like they died. My silence isn't emptiness, it's the echo of every time I wasn't believed. I've been in rooms where love was promised, but pain was delivered. I don't talk about my past because it feels like I'm describing a war only I survived. I used to think being strong meant never asking for help until it almost destroyed me. My past still whispers to me at night, reminding me that healing doesn't mean forgetting. There was someone who once made me feel like home, and leaving them felt like self-exile. I've hidden my tears in laughter so many times that even I forgot how to cry. My past isn't something I can erase. It's written in my reactions, in my silence, in my fears. I've learned to walk away before people get a chance to abandon me. No one knows how many nights I spent talking to the ceiling, begging for peace. I've been loyal to people who used my love as a weapon against me. My past has fingerprints of people who left bruises where love should have been. I used to pray for love. Now I pray for peace, because peace stays longer. I was told I was too emotional, so I became cold, and now I don't know how to thaw. My past taught me that not every apology comes with change, and not every goodbye means closure. I used to think being chosen would heal me until I realized I was choosing pain over peace. I've spent years unlearning the idea that I had to earn love. There's a version of me that still stands in the past, hoping someone would finally say, "I'm sorry." My biggest secret? I still love someone who destroyed me because pain has a way of feeling familiar. I've kept so many secrets to protect people who never protected me. There are names I can't say out loud because they taste like heartbreak and regret. My past is the reason I don't chase anymore. If they want to stay, they will. I used to mistake obsession for love and silence for peace. I've been through storms that made me thank the rain for washing away the evidence. I used to see myself as broken. Now I realize I was just misunderstood. There's a memory I can't erase. The moment I realized love can also be cruel. My past taught me to love quietly because loud love always ended in heartbreak. I've been called too much by people who couldn't handle real. I've learned to accept that closure is just a polite word for loneliness. I used to replay every conversation, wondering if I could have been loved differently. I've hidden behind strength for so long that I forgot what it feels like to be soft without fear. My past isn't just made of pain. It's made of lessons carved into me by the hands of loss. I need to tell you something. I didn't grow cold on purpose. It was survival disguised as strength. I used to chase love like it was oxygen until I realized I was suffocating myself to keep others breathing. I've been the secret keeper, the forgiver, and the one who stayed silent while my heart screamed. My past is filled with people who taught me how to love, but never how to be loved. I've spent years trying to forgive myself for things I did when I was only trying to survive. Sometimes I look in the mirror and see all the versions of me I had to kill just to feel safe. I need you to know I didn't walk away because I stopped caring. I walked away because I stopped existing. There's a place inside me where I buried all my almosts, the ones who left before they ever stayed. My past was full of noise, yet no one ever truly heard me. I used to believe pain was proof of love until I met you and it finally felt like peace. My heart still remembers the nights when silence felt louder than any goodbye. I need to confess, there was a time I thought I wasn't worthy of love unless I was saving someone. I've forgiven people in silence because I was too tired to explain the damage out loud. I once promised myself I'd never cry again. Then you showed me tears could be healing, not weakness. My past isn't dark because of what I've been through, but because of how much light I gave away to the wrong people. There are memories I've wrapped in silence because words could never describe how much they hurt. I used to think I was cursed in love. Now I understand I was just loyal to the wrong souls. Sometimes I still hear my old self whispering, "Don't trust anyone with your heart again." I've learned that love without understanding is just another form of loneliness. My past left scars that don't show on my skin. They live in how I flinch when someone says forever. I've been abandoned mid-sentence, mid-dream, mid-healing, but never mid-love. There are truths I've never told, not because I'm ashamed, but because I fear they'll make you see me differently. My past still breathes through me, in the pauses, the doubts, and the way I hesitate before saying I'm okay. I once mistook control for love and lost myself in the process of being a once everything. I used to pray for people to stay. Now I pray for the strength to let go. My past was never about heartbreak alone. It was about learning who I became because of it. I've been through things that made me question if I was meant to feel joy again. I need you to know when I say I love you, it's not from innocence, it's from survival. I've carried guilt for choices that saved me but disappointed others. My past has made me careful with words because I know how easily promises can rot into pain. There was someone who once called me too emotional, and I believed them until I met you and felt seen. I used to hide my tears because I thought they made me weak. Now I know they made me human. I've walked away from love that looked perfect but felt hollow. My past still echoes, not with regret, but with gratitude for the lessons I didn't want to learn. I've been loyal to people who only loved the version of me they could control. Sometimes healing feels like betrayal because I have to let go of people I once prayed for. I used to collect heartbreaks like souvenirs, thinking pain gave me purpose. My past taught me the difference between being wanted and being valued, and I'll never confuse them again. There are things I've done to survive that I'm not proud of, but they made me who I am today. I have stayed silent in rooms that demanded screams, just to keep the peace. My past left me cautious, not cold. There's a difference. I need to tell you, I wasn't always this guarded. I used to love recklessly, like I had never been burned. I've learned to stop explaining my pain to those who caused it. My past made me understand that healing isn't linear. Some days you bloom, some days you bleed. I've watched people change when they realized I saw through them. Honesty scares the pretenders. My past is full of people who said they'd never leave, but did, quietly, without goodbye. I've cried over people I would now cross the street to avoid. My scars aren't stories of weakness. They're proof I was strong when no one else showed up. I used to fear being alone. Now I fear losing myself in the wrong company again. My past taught me that love doesn't hurt. People who don't know how to love do. There's a softness I still protect. The child in me who believed love meant safety. I've learned to stop explaining my silence. Those who truly care will listen to the quiet.